Howdy folks, welcome to Katie Phillips Scrapbook Designs. I'm Katie, and today we're going to work on pages 2 and 3 in the Welcome Sweet Boy mini album. For this album, I'm using some digital art from Etsy, and I will link to where you can purchase that art in the description box down below. I do have a couple of patterns here that I am not able to link to because I didn't purchase the commercial rights for them, and these are patterns that I came up with on my own, so I won't be able to link to those, but I'll be able to link to everything else. So I'm going to work on pages 2 and 3 at the same time, and for both these pages, they're going to be mirrors, and that's why I'm going to work on them at the same time. It's easier to just do 2 at the same time and then assemble things. So let me grab my notes and I'll go over the measurements. Okay, pages 2 and 3. For one thing, we're going to need another base page. This is 8 1/4 by 7 1/2, and we're going to score the 8 1/4 inch side at 7 3/4 and 7 1/2 inches. In solid cardstock, you're going to need, for assembling both pages, 2 pieces cut to 7 3/8 inch squared. This is solid cardstock. 4 pieces cut to 6 1/4 inch squared. 2 pieces cut to 7 3/8 by 5 3/8. 2 pieces cut to 6 3/8 by 4 3/8. In pattern paper, you're going to need 2 pieces cut to 7 1/4 by 2. 4 pieces cut to 6 by 2, 2 pieces cut to 7 1/4 by 5 1/4, 2 pieces cut to 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. In gray cardstock, you're going to need 2 pieces cut to 8 1/2 by 6. We're going to score the 8 1/2 inch side at 1/2 inch, fold that under, and score again at 7 1/2 inches. And we're going to score the 6 inch side at 5 1/2 inches. You're also going to need 4 pieces cut to 9 1/2 inches by 6 1/2 inches. We're going to score the 9 1/2 inch side at 1/2 inch and fold that under and score again at 5 inches. Or alternately, you can score at 4 1/2 inches and 9 inches. We also need 2 pieces of 110-pound white cardstock cut to 6 1/2 inches squared. So now let's get started with getting everything scored, and then we'll start with the assembly. First thing that I'm going to do is assemble the accordion and the accordion mats. So the accordion pieces are the 9 1/2 by 6 1/2 pieces that we scored in a Z-fold, and the accordion mats are the 6 3/8 by 4 3/8 and 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. So there should be 2 of each of the mats and a total of 4 accordion pieces. So first thing is going to be to assemble the accordion. I'm deciding, do I want to use double-sided? I think I'm going to go ahead and use double-sided tape. I may regret this, but so trying to line it up as best I can, all 4 corners. Now I'm going to press down on this side since I've got the tape pulled up on this side. And I'm not going to use double-sided tape on this mat because the gap is only a 1/16 of an inch all the way around, and I'm not feeling that confident in my ability to place it today. So it's just been one of those days where you can tell that there are no ballerinas in my family. Tab is going to be on the top, so I want to make sure this is right side up. So make sure that the tab is on this side. Set that aside for a sec and repeat that for the other accordion. So the way that I am designing this album is, so we know when the baby's due, obviously. Baby is due in the middle of July. And as I am calculating the number of, why did I pull that release tape all the way off? I don't know. Okay, especially on today when I am being a klutz today. So anyway, baby is due in the middle of July. So there are certain pages that I know I want to put plenty of extra room for photographs on, such as the page that will be month number 4, which will be not this video, but the next one, because that will be the month in which Halloween falls. And that's usually a month where lots of baby pictures are taken, first Halloween costume and all that. And of course that's going to be followed by first Thanksgiving, first Christmas. So I'm trying to take those into consideration when designing the pages for this album. Now, if baby was due closer to the end of the month, that might be a little hard to calculate. Of course, he could be really, really late and then mess that all up. But he would have to be like 2 weeks late to mess it up that bad. Okay, again, tab at the top. And lay the mat down. We're going to set that aside for a sec. And now we're going to grab these mats. So pocket mats. These are the 7 1/4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to need to cut a slice that is just over 6.5 inches wide. And we need to position it so that when we insert the tab, it's going to be about halfway. And wow, that line is almost perfect. So I'm going to try to get it right on that line here, this line right here. So how far is that? Where is my ruler? Here's my ruler. Looks like it's about a 1/2 inch. Yep, just under 1/2 inch. It's like 3/8 of an inch from the top. And I have a T-square over there, but I don't feel like going to get it. So I'm going to mark 3/8 of an inch. And I'm going to make another 3/8 of an inch mark. And now I'm going to draw a straight line between the two. And this page is 7 1/4 inches, and this one is 6.5. So I'm gonna come. So here's the 3/8 of an inch. I'm gonna come to 7/16. So 7/16 of an inch from both sides. That should give me a slice wide enough to insert that tab through. And I do not trust my ability to make a straight cut this long, so I am going to use a metal straight edge here. Just to make sure that I'm not overshooting the width here. Oh, that is actually less than 6.5 inches. So I'm going to scooch this 0 mark over here, and I'm actually going to start here. And I'm going to end at the 6.5 inch mark on my ruler. So it's actually more like starting at 3/8 of an inch. I should have gone. You know what? I should have gone 5/16 of an inch. I went the wrong direction. I should have gone in toward the sides, not, or out toward the sides, not in. So let's check my work and see if this slit is going to be wide enough. And it is. In fact, that is just about perfect. So I'm going to glue that down. Now I'm going to add a ribbon to the back of these mats. And my ribbon is roughly 3 times the height from top to bottom of this mat here, and then I cut it in half. And you'll need a total of 4 pieces of ribbon cut to that size. And because of this slice here, you definitely want to make sure you've got plenty of glue both above and below the slice. I did not mean to get glue all the way down there. Okay, now we're going to add this mat on top of the 7 3/8 by 5 3/8 solid cardstock. And then we're going to do it again for the other page. And if you wanted to accurately measure the center, then it's going to be 3 5/8. Yeah, 3 5/8 inches from either side. Now we're ready to start working on the pocket. So let's add double-sided tape around the edges of both of these pockets, and then we're going to clip the corners. I need to take the two 7 3/8 inch squared base mats and the two 7 1/4 by 2 inch pieces. We're going to glue the 7 1/4 by 2 inch pieces up near the top of the base mats so that there's about a 1/16 of an inch frame all the way around 3 sides. Now we're going to take the base mat, flip it face down on top of the pocket. The pocket's going to have the bumpy side facing up, and we're going to line the bottom of the base mat up against the bottom of the pocket, right up against that score line. And it's going to be centered from side to side. Since I've got this rotated 90 degrees, it's aligned between these two score lines here and almost flush up against this score line on my left, because that's actually the bottom of the pocket. We just pull all the release paper and fold it over. And again, I'm going to line bottom of the base mat up against the bottom of the pocket, at least the score line for the bottom of the pocket. Fold that over. And it's going to be the right side of the pocket, and the left side of the pocket. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dry fit this, but I'm not going to glue it down just yet because this is going to be really unwieldy if I try to glue it down with everything on it. So, glue the back of the pocket base mat assembly . This is going to end up being page number 3, and we want the score lines on, let's see, yes, we want the score lines on the left because that's going to be the side that gets attached to the main, gets attached to the album spine. And now we can glue the accordion assembly down to the front of the pocket. And I should have just gone ahead and tied those ribbons. I don't know why I didn't. If you're following along, go ahead and tie those ribbons. just so that they are out of your way. Here's page number 1, and if you want to see page number 1, I will link it up here. We're going to go ahead, we're going to add this to the back of page number 1. Make sure you got it right side up, because mounting things upside down is totally my jam. Also, another good argument for using glue. Liquid glue. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a lot easier to deal with. The 110-pound 6.5-inch squared inserts with 6 1/4 inch mats. You should have a total of 2 inserts, 4 6 1/4 inch square mats, and 4 6x2 insert mats. And I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use double-sided tape for this, because the gap is 1/4 inch all the way around. It's not going to have a whole lot of weight on it. And if it does get a little like wavy because of the liquid glue, it's going to look weird. So by the way, I found this at the Dollar Tree for $1. So if you need a decent eraser to remove pencil marks, check your Dollar Tree. Me, I grabbed 2 of them. Just because I know Dollar Tree and they're not going to carry that for very long. So got the final insert done. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more mini album related content. I release new videos every Tuesday and Friday, and the next one is going to be a really fun one, really challenging. I haven't done one quite like what's going to be on page number 4 before. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see that. And if you have any questions, leave me a comment in the comment section down below. I will link to all the materials and electronic files that I can find online in the description box. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.